Hi there, I'm Lori Scherenbrock, and I'm here with Chris Schucker of Digital Horizons, and we have a new episode of What's on the Horizon for you. And I love talking about home automation. I think you like talking about home automation,
a little
right?
bit,
Right, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking: is there a system that's the best, or one that you recommend? Like, what's the best one to go with?
Yeah. So it's kind of a funny topic because we have certain companies that we work
Sure.
with, of which Control4 is the biggest one. But we also work with a company called Crestron, and we also work with a company called RTI. And we have specific reasons why we use them. Some of which, all of which, obviously, I think are good reasons. But they're definitely not the only companies out there. In what would be considered the major home automation manufacturers, they're 3 of maybe 10. And there's several others besides the 3 that we work with that do a little bit of things that ours don't. But to be honest with you, and I get this question from our customers all the time.
Sure.
And this is why I wanted us to talk about this, is the manufacturer that is doing the automation doesn't matter at all.
Oh.
There are a lot of reasons why we like Control4 and the way they do things.
Sure, that interface.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will talk your ear off on why we think it's the best.
Sure.
But what actually matters is the company that's installing it.
Yeah.
And the analogy that I like giving people is if you took Schumacher, who's I think considered the best Formula One racer of all time.
Yes.
You could put him in any car and he'll drive it better than virtually anybody.
I bet.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you took me and you put me in a Formula One car, I wouldn't know how to turn it on, right? So the system, when it comes to home automation, because there are so many good ones, the system actually doesn't matter. It's more of who's putting it in.
Sure.
And it matters more about that company's design and engineering process.
Yeah.
Their ability to ask the right questions. And then all of that flows down into their ability to deploy said system.
Yeah.
Because if they don't have the ability to design and engineer it correctly, they don't have a proper documentation process, they don't have somebody who's skilled in programming it, and if their technicians aren't trained on how to lay out and what we call dress an equipment rack, if there is one involved, which is the routing, connection, termination of the wiring between the components, it doesn't matter how good your system is. It doesn't matter if you had a pound of Kobe Wagyu beef flown in from Japan. It could be literally the best cut of beef in the world, but if someone doesn't know how to cook it, it doesn't matter where it came from. So when people ask that question, I say it's the system that is best deployed by who you're working with.
Yeah.
To an additional degree of information that may not be necessary, there's a lot of systems automation systems in the world that have higher capabilities, but the degree in which it takes to execute on those abilities means that only a few select individuals or companies are capable of deploying it. That if you were to take that system and give it to someone who's not as versed, or a company isn't set up to actually deploy correctly, it will be worse than anything else.
Well, and something you and I have talked about too that you haven't mentioned yet, but I'm sure you were going to get to before I interrupted you.
Yeah.
But customer service is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because again, you could have this really, really, really great system, but what happens when you have a question or a component fails or something like that? If you're not working with the right kind of person, then again, what was the point of doing it?
Yeah, it's all of these systems. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're working with ourselves, like as a technology integrator, if it's a mechanic, whenever you're getting a service, what happens after the sale, and to a much larger degree in our industry, it matters more on what their follow through looks like, their ability to stand behind what's installed. We install awesome systems. We have very good and happy customers, but things still happen.
Oh, sure.
There are so many things that unfortunately are out of our control. Cable box, Apple TV, Roku,
Yeah.
television software updates, all of these things that we do our best to
Sure.
mitigate and stay on top of. But when these things crop up, if we don't answer the phone and we don't have somebody available to come out and take care of these things, then it doesn't matter. Back to the original question, it doesn't matter how good the home automation
Yeah.
system is. So it really comes down to who's installing it, what their company is capable of. And honestly, the thing that I love telling people is what you can't see is what matters the most.
Yes.
So if you are engaged, just as some general tips, having been in this industry for almost 20 years, if you are engaging with somebody in a position like ours as a technology integrator, you want to see what their warehouse looks like.
Yeah.
You want to see what their service vans look like.
Yeah.
You want to see what their documentation process looks like. What are their connection diagrams?
Yeah.
If they have the ability to show you, you want to see what their equipment racks look like, if that is something that your system is going to need. Because the things that you can't see, if they aren't paying attention to that, there's a good chance that they're not going to pay attention to you and your system in the way that it's
Yeah.
needed to be deployed and cared for.
Sure. Yeah, and it's funny you say that, like, what does it look like? Because I've been in some different buildings and offices recently, and I just look at the mess and terribleness of the cords and just, like, it's overwhelming to look at. But I have experienced your service before, and our rack is beautiful and tidy and numbered. And, like, there's something to be said for that you understand the quality of work that's coming out of that. Not just that the systems are super high quality, but that there's a person or a company behind that means something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that, again, having people come in here too in the experience center, that's part of it too, to show them, like, your control 4 pad, like, yeah, this is how this works, and maybe that is or isn't what they want.
Right.
But being able to see it live and how it works and what it looks like is huge in that decision making process too.
100%.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for that answer. That non-answer answer was a good one. I appreciated that. And then we will get to the rest of my home automation questions that are brewing in another episode. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next episode.